Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Pinoy Abroad. So just decided to make another video here because I'm scrolling through the comments and then I read some of these comments from you, questions from people. Gets me really interesting to answer them because I feel like some of you guys have been struggling to decide whether you have to leave everything behind from your country of origin or from the country where you're currently working right now and decide to come here to the States. It's a tough decision, but unfortunately guys, I cannot decide for you whether it's worth it to come here or not, or whether it's worth to leave everything behind from your country of origin or not. That is not for me to determine. That would be up to you to determine it. Unfortunately, I cannot decide for you and I cannot decide for your fate. That'll be you. You'll have to come up with that decision, guys. All I can do is give you some ideas, suggestions. And so this is the reason why I'm making this video. So I read this comment, guys, from someone who lives in Korea right now. I'm assuming she's from the Philippines and she moved to Korea. She has a current job there. I believe she also has a child. I don't know how old, but you mentioned about, if you're watching this video, you mentioned about you're getting paid. You have been offered a contract in Hawaii, 15 bucks an hour. I don't know if that's a 40-hour a week kind of thing. If that's the case, I would say it's still very low for Hawaii. It wouldn't be sustainable only because Hawaii is a very expensive state. It would not be sustainable here in Minnesota, even because all the things right now, everything's just getting super expensive. And if you think about it, guys, 15 bucks an hour, I mean, it's barely gonna do anything unless you have a family that you can live with in that state, or even at least help you and your partner share a room, share an apartment, or help you with the bills and stuff. And another thing to consider is that, are you coming to the States with a green card visa, or is it going to be a working visa? Because that will make a lot of difference. I've seen people, even some of my friends that came here from the Philippines who worked in the IT department, and they worked here for about 5 years, and after that they get sent back home and never get to renew their visa. So that's another thing, because if you're coming here with a working visa, it's kind of iffy. You still are not sure if you can get renewed, because it all depends on the company. It also depends on if there's still a need for the job and stuff like that. And so I would say I can't really decide for you. If you're coming here for a green card visa, then maybe if you have someone that you can live with, like a family member or a really close friend that can help you with the bills and stuff. And I don't know how long that contract's going to be for. And let's say just 2 years. Maybe you can endure that 2 years and then just, you know, seek help with that family member. And then after you're done with your contract, then you can seek for another job that's a little bit high paying. Assuming that you're going to be here with a green card visa, then you won't have a problem with, you know, whether you get it renewed or not. So another question I get asked is from someone who got a contract. I'm assuming they're nurses. They get a contract in Black Duck, Minnesota. When I googled it, it's kind of like super north of Minnesota, close to the border of Canada, and That was super remote also, so there's a lot of struggles there, and I was answering this guy on the comment section, and he was wondering if he should still go on with the contract, and I believe the contract is about 3 years. That's not very typical for a contract for nurses. Normally it's about 2 years contract here. But then if you're really super excited to come here, you can still take the contract, I suppose, and just finish it. You also have the option to buy out the contract. I've seen a lot of Filipinos that come here, they just buy out their contract after they spend about a year and a year and a half on their contracts. They buy it out and then they're free to leave and find another job and live anywhere else they want. So you could also do the same thing, and then once you've done that, you know, no worries. You can choose wherever you want to live. Not every place here in the States is like Minnesota. Not every place here, depending on the region, has snow. If you live way down south, like Texas, there's less likely you're gonna get snow. The struggle here in the Midwest, and especially the northern part of the US, is that we get a lot of snow here, and that's another thing to consider, because you're gonna have to plow, you're gonna have to deal with the cold, and you know, the driving is not super safe during the winter months. But you're going to adapt to it. You're going to eventually readjust to it, and I'm sure you will. The only thing is that if you have kids, sometimes it's kind of like a struggle. And then especially if you live remotely like that, you're too far away from the metro, you're going to be far away from the nearest hospital. You're probably going to be far away from the clinics and probably the malls and places where you can have fun in. But that being said, eventually you're going to need a car. So eventually you're going to have to buy a car. So then when you have a car, you're free to roam around and drive to places where you want to. And I believe Black Duck, Minnesota is not too far away. It's about 2 to 3 hours of the drive. I mean, that's far away if you live in the Philippines and stuff, but like a typical place here in the States, like, I mean, that's not super far. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's super far. So you can drive down the cities during your day off or during your weekend off and spend good time with the family. So that's my takeaway, guys. The other cons when you're living super remote like that is that you're probably gonna be the only Filipino family there, because it's gonna be less diverse, and it's a small community. So it's going to be lonely. It's going to be lonely, and especially if you're going to decide to finish the contract for 3 years, it's going to be a long time to stay there. So it's up to you guys. Like I said, I cannot determine whether it's worth it to live there or not, but it depends on all your needs and stuff. So yeah, I hope I've given you a little bit of suggestion there, idea. So if you have any questions, guys, leave them down in the comment section. I don't regularly upload videos anymore, but I will soon if I get enough questions and comments. I'm typically busy nowadays, but I'll try to be in touch with you all the time through these videos. Okay, thank you so much for watching my videos. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you soon. Peace out.